ruby droplets scattered across the skirt of my white gown, matching the ring. It seemed fitting somehow. Of course, a deal with the devil and a marriage born in hell would be sealed with blood. And today we are chatting about Unholy Vows by Mila Kane.
Oh, is that how you say her name?
I don't know. That's just how I said it. And I knew as soon as I said it that that's what you were going to say, because it could also be Mila. But I went with Mila.
I love you so much, Jen. This is why we're friends.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be Mila. It might. It's probably is Mila.
I like Mila. I don't know. Anyways, so what did you think? I need to know all the deets. Because like I unofficially said, this might actually beat Carter Reed, to be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like for me, it definitely beat Carter Reed, and the reason is her. Like she definitely had some moments where I wanted to smack her, but it's only because it's a book and not real life. Because for like the first like probably 1/3 of the book, I am sitting here and I'm like, girlfriend, right off into the sunset already. Like,
yeah, like what are you doing? Why are you still here?
Yes. I'm like I would have been bending over backwards after the bathroom scene.
Where he fucks up against the window? The mirror?
No, the very first encounter that they had in the bathroom at the like fancy dinner gala thing where Dr. Dan was there. And she was actually working as a waitress, I think, or caterer or something.
I
would have folded immediately. I'm like, oh, you want to take all my problems away, put me in a really nice house, feed me well, clothe me well, and put me through school? I'm sorry. I don't care that you're in the mob.
And that's not even including the good fucking, right?
Right, exactly. Like,
no.
I don't care what you do in your spare time.
Yeah. I loved everything about this, and I think everything that I was missing from Carter Reed, I got from this. Like, she was very strong. She was very powerful, even though it was like intrinsic power and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't give in very easily, and she toggled between the two worlds. You know, it was just more relatable and more realistic. And the way that he eased her into it, I felt was appropriate. You know, you have to take steps. You have to be gradual. I say that kind of in quotations, kind of like what Carter Reed did. But she, like you said, she gave me everything that I didn't get in Carter Reed. Although I do say I hated the little sister.
Oh, well, like, obviously.
Just let her run off. Like, at this point, I mean, I can't say that. I'm a big sister, so I understand that'll never happen. But it's a book, so I'm allowed to say that. She was just an idiot. All the problems that she caused.
She was really annoying. I feel like the author could have done a bit less with the little sister, because I feel like there were a couple points where it just took away from the story. Because like we get it. You know, like we get it. The little sister sucks. She's the whole reason they're there. And she's an ungrateful little biatch.
You don't need to.
So I kind of wish. Yeah, you know, like that was that I could have done a little less with her, but she did everything else so well. The only reason I'm even thinking about it after the fact is because you brought it up. Like, the only thing I have thought about since finishing this book is their relationship.
Yes. It sets with you for a while. I sat with this book for a couple of days after I finished reading it. I do remember that. And like I couldn't pick up another mafia book because I was like, there's just no way that anything is going to be as grand as this. And as much as mafia as I read, nothing has topped it.
Yeah. And we talked about this, I think it was in Carter Reed's episode where I love that he was involved. Like there was no point, and he even like you even start the book when you first read his perspective. He is like, I keep on top of things because no one ever knows where I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up, I could show up to a drop, I could show up to a pickup, I could show up and handle my own assassination. Like he's like, I'm just going to keep everybody on their toes.
Yep.
Yeah, so I really, for a book, I really liked that, he was so thoroughly involved in his own organization and didn't shy away from like the ugly parts of it or the hard parts of it. Like and I feel like that's how or why we fall in love with morally gray men in these books is because they take such exceptional care of their people and like fuck everybody else.
Yeah. Agreed. And
Like
to kind of play off that, I think another reason why I loved it so much is because so I think it's the same thing with Carter Reed, but not as much. We get this more is he never shielded her from the dirty and bad parts of who and what he is. And that's one of the things that I know they're trying to do. I say this as like a global universal that they're trying to keep to like old tradition to where women can't be involved and da 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 da. And nothing pulls me not fully out of the book. I'll still read the story about, oh, well, she can't be in the meeting because she's a woman and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I'm just like,
right.
and she's the one who ends up saving the day anyways. It's sometimes you got to be picky when there's like 50,000 mafia romance books out there. That irritates me. But here, even though she's not like fully involved in the things, he never hides anything from her. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I mean, and besides the sister, I don't think that there's anything that I did not like about this book.
No, there really wasn't. I mean, I really appreciated the loyalty among the family. I really loved the ceremony after the wedding where like all of his people like pledged their allegiance to her. I loved Giada, if that's how you say her name. I thought she was fantastic and I will absolutely be reading her book. I would love to I feel like I would read just about anything in this world. I haven't looked to see what there is yet, but I really enjoyed the world. I really enjoyed their relationship and how it progressed. I was a little okay, so just we're going to get nitpicky here. The only thing I was kind of expecting was for Ren to anticipate Charlie giving her little sister her ring. Like,
Tracker.
yeah, like I really feel like Ren knew her well enough and knew her motivations and like how she thinks well enough to anticipate her making that connection and giving it to her sister instead of keeping it for herself. Yeah.
I can see that, but I also feel like him being, I mean, he's realistic, but also kind of like a little egocentrical of like,
Egotistical.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That he probably thought that nobody would try and take her or take them together. Right? Because the only reason why she got kidnapped is because the sister, again, is stupid and ran out the tunnel. Otherwise, if they would have stayed where they were supposed to, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
But I just, yeah. That is kind of, he should have known that everything that she's done to sacrifice has been for her sister. So
yeah,
he should have
but
put a tracker on the sister too.
he did.
No, I thought he only put a tracker on his wife.
No, that's how he found her because the sister gave Charlie the rosary beads and they had put a tracker in the or on the beads.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just remember her shoving the ring in her mouth saying, "Don't swallow."
Yeah. There was another thing. Oh, I feel like a good argument to my argument is
Look,
just
this
argue
is
with myself.
classic Jenn. Okay, being all logical, even with herself, not just me.
But it's that he was so distraught and so emotionally upset that he couldn't think straight enough. All he could think was tracking her. He didn't think about what her motivations would be in that situation.
That was way better than mine. That was way better than my counter. I need you to start like
Oh.
messaging these to me, Jenn, before you speak to him so I can look good too, okay?
Oopsie.
No,
Sorry.
you're okay. Yeah. So, and for those who've been listening and following us for a while, this is the first book that Jenn has like actually sat down and read because it's not available on audio.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this will probably be a separate conversation. So you might have to edit this out.
Okay.
But I think I figured out why I wasn't reading. And it was this book that had me make the realization.
Okay.
So every book I have physically read since beginning to read again, I have normally read within 3 days. Like it we'll say 5 days for anything over 700 pages. So
Okay.
like I burned through books. I'm not like you, okay? But I burned through books for normal people. Not misty people, normal people. So this year, the only book I think I finished in less than 3 days was Beautiful Fiend. I think that was like a one sit thing. Driving my Obsession, which I legitimately loved. And I think that's it.
Hmm.
Everything else has taken me longer than a week to read. And so what my little lizard brain has done is it has decided that if it takes longer than a week for me to physically read it, it's not a good book.
That's interesting.
I think that's what happened in my brain because this book I legitimately enjoyed so much, loved it so much, could not stop thinking about it, wanted to stay up late, wanted to get up early, wanted to do all the things to read it, but life just physically kept me from not being able to. So it still took me how long did it take me? 6 days?
About
Or was it 5?
4 or 5 days, I would say.
Okay. So like that's a long time for me from
Yeah,
previous
because you finished it Friday
history.
night.
Yeah, Friday night. Like that's a long time for me based on past history. So what I think I need to do is stop. I have to change the expectation in my brain that like a book can take longer than a week even if it's a really great book.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the realization I made.
I like it. If you're okay, I'll keep it in
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it.
the episode.
I just didn't put those things together until I was made to read a physical book that I actually truly loved.
That's interesting. Hmm. I
Yeah,
wonder
I
how
thought
you're
it
going
was.
to combat that for next year.
I think it's just a matter of like giving myself grace when things take longer than anticipated, and that's just a lesson I have to learn like
Mm-hmm.
in everyday life because I want everything
Don't look at the page
done.
numbers if you can help it.
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Don't look at the page numbers. I'm almost look. Okay, listeners, we're going on a little tangent on this episode. So, an episode with an episode. I've stopped reading blurbs.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't even read blurb. Kelly, who did Meet at Midnight with us, one of the things that she said that she does is she just reads like the first two sentences. And then if she likes it, then she reads it. I don't even read the first two sentences. I go to the very last paragraph
Oh
in
jeez, that gives
the
me so much
summary.
anxiety.
No, because I need to know what are the tropes? Is it a standalone? Is it a reverse harem? Does it end on a
Oh,
cliffhanger? Those are the things that I look for. And I read that and I was like, oh, okay. Then I go for it. And let's not even talk about covers. Like, I can't even look at covers on books anymore because they're just garbage. They're rubbish.
rubbish.
They're rubbish. That was asked of me to stop saying trash. I've been asked to say rubbish, so I'm gonna try. So yeah, because like, don't get me wrong, Unholy Vows, #1 mafia book. I'm sorry, hard to read, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate the cover of this book.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot stand the cover of this book.
Like with the
Mostly because I personally don't like people on the books covers of my books that I like to read. And then if it's people, I don't want to see their face. Like just do like the neck down. Like I don't. And that's from reading books in the past where there are people on the covers and the people on the covers don't match the description of the people in the books. And I'm like, I don't understand what is happening.
I don't pay that close attention. My brain's gonna make whatever my brain's gonna make anyway.
That is true. That is true. That's the excuse I'm using, Jen, to make me not like people. Let me have my excuse.
Absolutely. No judgment from me at all.
I mean, you can totally judge. I just need you to let me have it.
You can have it.
So I'm hoping she does like a discreet, or I can go on a whole tangent on covers for some authors. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I understand sometimes it's funds, it's what you have available if you're learning your craft. Like, I totally get that. And I mean, no disrespect. But I just don't like seeing people's faces on my covers. So I don't know. Do we have anything else? I just want to throw the caveat of I love the name of this book. I think I texted you. I think I texted my sister about how I was giggling that this is going out on Christmas Eve and it's called Unholy Vows.
Oh. That's great.
Cheesy, and it's going out on Christmas Eve. So yes, I enjoyed that so much. If we don't have anything else, do we want to jump into the ratings? Or we talked about how, it hit all the things of a strong, intrinsic female. He's involved in the business. There are shootouts, people die, there's a compound, there's protectiveness, there's some kind of deal going on that may or may not go right or wrong. Bodyguards.
Yeah.
Tracking. We didn't talk about tracking devices as being a requirement, but I think we should add that as a caveat.
What, for mafia?
Some kind of tracking. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a subset of, okay, maybe it didn't hit all of these things, but did it have this? Tracking's just as close as stalking. I feel like that's important.
Yeah, I feel like tracking is more like a stalking. Like that should be a stalking requirement over mafia requirement.
Okay.
That's just my
but see, when I think tracking, I think of like not like going out and like following in the shadows, but like
no, right.
Okay.
Like devices. Yeah. I like it. I mean, listen.
No, I'm glad that you did.
I have Life 360 on my husband, and he has it on me. Like,
I have Life 360 on my whole family, and I stalk them quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, check in.
Make sure things are okay.
To the ratings. We do darkness first, right? Yeah. Darkness. 4? 3?
I would say a 4. You got some pretty dark happenings in this book.
Yeah, I would say a 4. I would say 3 or 4. You read it more recently than I did. And I'm also like disassociated from a lot of things. So disassociated, is that right word?
I don't know.
Is that the right word? Disassociated. My psychology brain is not working. Oh my god, is that the word? Disassociate. Yes, I did sound that out.
Yeah, because let me think.
I think a 4 is good.
Yeah, I think a 4 makes sense. I mean, she's like coerced into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They both get kidnapped. Actually, they both get kidnapped multiple times.
Yes. Well, at least 3, right?
I was thinking 2. Is it 3? It might be 3.
I don't know. I was just guessing. Then they witness somebody being killed.
Yeah. And
They're
Charlie witnesses 4 deaths, and that's before he rescues her from the Castillos. And then you have all of those deaths that she saw, and you have the guy that she knocked out with the crowbar and probably killed.
But that's all violence and death.
Yeah. And then she's, I mean, not like mafia level tortured, but like tortured. Like she's hogtied in the cell basement where rats are chewing on the food they left on her, because that's really disgusting.
I mean, I'm okay with 4. I think 4 is good.
I can stop arguing about it now. By
Unless you're trying
myself.
to push for 5.
No.
Yes, unless you're trying to push for 5.
No, because I don't think you don't have any essay. Like, she's not necessarily
On or
morally
off
gray.
page. Yeah.
Yeah, on or off page. Yeah.
Okay.
I think 4 is good.
So 4. Spicy? 4?
Let me tell you, this author did the thing. Like, the way she towed the line between like the perfect amount of spice and like the perfect amount of plot was just, I haven't read a book that balanced those two things and did them both exceptionally well probably since Butcher and Blackbird. Like, she balanced both so well. The only scene I almost messaged you and been like, really? This is where we fade to black? Really? Are you kidding me? Because I actually like it most of the time when authors have like super spicy scenes, but then they mix in a fade to black here and there because you don't need that intense spice in every single chapter. But it was when he was, I'm yelling and my son is like right there.
You're okay.
When he spanked her and she was like, give me 20. And he's like, oh, we're not even like easing into this. And that's the scene where she fade to black. I was like, Mila, that is a problem.
I need the behind the scenes. I need it from his perspective now. His POV.
Yes.
Give me a bonus scene, okay?
Yes.
Jenn's birthday's in March, if you're listening to this. Mine's in January, so we'll share it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I would have liked to see. Everything else was just chef's kiss. Yes, I think. Where do you think it lands, though?
What do you mean? Lands on what?
On the spicy scale.
I said 4. See, this is why we have to do the thing that we're going to do for next season, because it doesn't fit.
I feel like it should be a 3. Okay, hear me out.
Okay, I'm all ears, all 2 of them, okay?
Hear me out. It's not that kinky.
Kinky would be 5. 4 is sexy and smutty. Am I making this up?
I don't know. Where's the scale?
I'm pulling it up right now. Okay. 4 is smutty. 5 is kinky and smutty. 3 is make us sweat. It's a 4.
Okay, fine.
I don't even like the word smutty, but it's a 4.
Yeah, I'll acquiesce, but I still like it's not a strong 4.
I mean, you can say a 3. You don't have to agree, but I am just shocked that I am saying something that's spicier than you. Because normally,
well, I'm thinking like
maybe I'm also thinking of the sexual tension. I'm counting that as part of it.
So good. It was
like, you have to count
good.
That.
Okay.
Did I just persuade you my way on the spicy scale?
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, let this go down in history. On this day at 12:36 p.m.
Misty won an argument.
I did, on spicy, not just an argument, on the spicy scale, okay?
Fine.
Ugh. I love that so much. I don't know. I think the angst and how they play off of each other, and even though it's not kinky, it was still super hot. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I
okay.
mean, it wasn't quite vanilla either. It was,
Mm-mm.
like butter pecan.
I don't know what that means.
Well, like if I like okay, like let's take a 5. It's Rocky Road. This was like butter pecan.
We're talking ice creams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Listen, I've been awake since 3:30 this morning.
Oh, you
I've
have me beat.
had
I've been up
I've
since
had
5.
3 cups of coffee
Okay.
and
No.
cinnamon
It's going
rolls.
over my head. It's late in the day. Like, if you want me to be on top, we got to do things in the morning. Okay.
Same.
Not in the
Jeez.
afternoon.
I know.
I think this is our first episode we ever recorded in the afternoon. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
This is going to be interesting. Okay. Overall rating. I'm
5
totally going to
stars.
surprise you. 5
100%.
stars.
Yeah.
Yep. Is this our first 5-star read of the year?
No.
Of
or at least
this
it's not
season?
mine.
I should say of the season.
Of this season, yes, I believe so. Unless Lights Out is in this season. I can't remember.
Lights Out is, so it's our second.
Okay. Cool.
Did we give Lights Out 5?
I did. I know
Okay.
I did.
5
Freaking-
stars. Woo woo. I don't think we really give a lot of books 5 stars. Yeah? I'm going
I
to have
don't-
to look now.
think so.
Now I'm going to go on analytics. I am so excited that you enjoyed this. And every mafia that we read after this is going
love
to
this.
not meet the standard. So I just want you to be prepared. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have to give you the best first, right?
Oh, it's funny.
I mean, who knows? Carter Reed was mine for quite a long time. This one just came out, what, this year? Last year? It
No
came
clue.
out. Yeah, I think it came out this year. The next book in the series doesn't come out till April.
And that's Giada's book, right? Is that right? Did I make that up?
Oh, it came out in November of 2023. I'm sorry. It's Elo's story for sure. If he gets with her, yes.
Oh, he has a book?
Yeah, his is next.
Oh, hot damn. Yes, please. So how did you say his name?
I knew you were gonna say something. I'm not saying it again.
No, you have to say it.
I said Elo.
Oh.
How do you say it?
I went back and forth between Elio and Elio.
Okay, Elio. I just say Elo.
There's an I in
Eli
there.
with an O. Do you know how many letters in words are silent? I'm just assuming it's silent, okay?
Sure, it's fine.
Because Eli-O, that doesn't make sense.
Now I just feel like we're singing the bingo song.
There's a bingo song?
Well, like Bingo was his name.
Okay, love. If there's nothing else, we can wrap it up. And by we, I mean your favorite part of the whole episode.
There's nothing else, huh?
I mean, we can still talk. I'm happy. Elio. But then the E's silent.
Huh?
We should just call him Lilo.
Lilo.
Li is pronounced Lee, and then it's an O, so I'm not wrong.
I mean, no. Or lie. Elio.
Now when his book comes out, I'm not gonna know how to say his name.
We're just gonna call him E.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do with the books, but I don't.
Yeah.
Or,
All right, friends. Have you read Unholy Vows? Let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you over on Instagram at Bones of the Story.
Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
And Jenn,
signing off
from Bones of the Story.